Okay, everybody, so I'm just sitting here waiting for people to connect. I presume at this stage here that it's a little bit early, so I just might sit here and wait for a bit. Just gonna check my second computer here. So I should be live right now. Current viewers, oh, it's just myself. 2 likes. Who's liked my video already? Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to give about 5 minutes for people to connect and get settled. Okay, I can see Chloe's joined us. Welcome. I think you get dibs on calling first. Chloe, since you're already in, can you give me a bit of feedback as to what the chaos is like in the classroom right now, and send my many thanks to Mrs. Geimer, who is looking after you right now. Okay, giving it a bit more time. Still waiting. Actually not in class at home. Okay. All right, well, that's good to know, Chloe. Well, while you're in and waiting, can I get you to open up your computer and, well, obviously you already have. I want you to bring up Microsoft Excel. Now, I believe you would already have it installed as part of the Microsoft Office package. So when you get yourself Microsoft Word, which I'm no doubt you've been using already to write assignments, Okay, it's a one-way conversation, so you can only hear me. I can't hear you unless you've typed into the chat. So when you're responding in the chat feed, I can see what you've written. But yeah, if you can open up Microsoft Excel, if you are on Windows, then in your lower left of your keyboard, there's a little Windows icon. Just tap that one, and you should get like a start menu pop up on your left-hand bottom side of your screen, and just type in the word Excel. So you can see how it's spelt from the title of the live stream. And just fire it up so yours looks like mine. If you are on the Mac, then you can do Command Space. So you know the Command key, it's right next to the space bar on your left-hand side. So yeah, just hold down the Command and then tap the space bar, then let go. And you can type in the word Excel, and you can do the same thing and open it up. So I'm just waiting on the rest of the class, seeing where they're at. Currently have not done the, haven't marked the roll yet. We'll see how it goes. Okay, good. So we're just still waiting on the rest of us to join in. Looks like it's just me and you at the moment. It's interesting. It looks like somebody's joining into the YouTube stream, but they're not actually logged in. Oh, I think we just saw the number go up. We got any new participants? No, not yet. Will you be marked on the roll as you're here for learning? Well, no. The way the class roll works at school is that we mark who is physically present. That's for many reasons. One of them is to make sure that we haven't lost any children between lessons of the day. Also, like if there is an emergency, like evacuation, let's say it's, I don't know, maybe if there's a fire, then we need to get everybody out, and we need to know who is supposed to be at school at this time, and that's what we use the roll for. We need to figure out who is there. So marking you on the roll when you're at home, it doesn't really make sense. Hey, Jeremy, welcome. How's it going in the classroom? I imagine it must be a little chaotic. I think you're the first one from the classroom itself. Give me a message. How are we doing in the classroom? Is everybody still trying to log in? Jeremy, are you able to hear me? I think you'll need to have sound on. Hey, Paul, welcome. Can somebody tell me what's happening in the classroom? Is everybody slowly getting on? Hey, Tom, good to see you. Ah, Lucky's on. Okay, now we're starting. You can see some people in here. Good, good. And everybody's using their school account, so I can tell who is who. Welcome, Kent. All right, for those of you who are done and ready, can you open up Excel? If you don't know how to do that, I'll tell people shortly. Welcome, Ari. Welcome, Jonathan. Welcome, Hugo. Everybody. Please send my thanks to Mrs. Geimer, who's looking after you right now. Thanks, Jonathan. So far, it's all the boys. Oh, Sarah's in. Awesome. Welcome, Sarah Grace. You're marking the roll. Okay, good, good. I just want to know how many people are in the classroom so we don't leave anyone behind, because I want to try and keep an eye of our who's signed in onto the YouTube so I can see if we're missing anybody. Hey, Jess. Do we just watch the video and ask questions on here? Yeah. So what you're seeing on the screen of this is actually my computer. So for instance, I can start modifying the little text that you're seeing here. So I could say, hi, this is proof that I'm alive. And you should be able to see that update on the screen there. If you have questions along the way, then that's what this chat feed is for. In case you haven't figured it out, this platform is not like Microsoft Teams. It's not like Zoom, so I cannot hear you. So if you're talking at your computer trying to get me to listen to what you're saying, I can't hear you. Hey, Harford, welcome. Been here a while, but couldn't figure out how to chat. Yeah, Mia, you had to sign into your school account in the upper right-hand corner. So hopefully people can read on the screen here to tell what's going on. Hey, Maya. Hang on, Markovic, you'll need to sign in with your school account, not your personal account. Can you change that? So Maya, in your upper right-hand corner, there should be an icon. For me, it's my little YouTube channel symbol, the little beaker of acid. You also probably have something like your little icon that you've chosen or something generic, like the first letter of your name. And when you click on that, you should have a drop-down menu that says switch account, and you can use that to switch to your school login. So like your student number at stpeters.ql. All right. Thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate that. I've been thinking about doing these live streams when I've been away from work, but yeah, my wife and I had a bit of a stomach bug last night, so hence I'm not here today. Yeah, Mia. So Harvard, yeah. Most students don't have a YouTube or Google account. Okay, excellent. Looks like, yeah, Markovic has switched. Awesome. Bonnie, welcome. Good, good. Thank you. Hey, Sienna. All right, has the roll been done? Can somebody confirm? So for Jonathan's question, I will be going through some basics of Microsoft Excel, including how to program it, not just make things look pretty. Okay, so let me just check. I'm going to check the class roll from my side of the pond and see who we should have. So we should have, I'm going to go to our participants list here on my screen here. So we should have Ari. We should have Zoe. So I don't think Zoe's in here yet. So she might be taking a bit of time to log in. Delilah, I don't think she's in yet. Georgia. She's not in here yet. So it looks like people are still logging in. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Where are me? Tom, I'm at home. I've been unwell this weekend. Okay, I've got Kate as well. Welcome, Kate. And Delilah's in, and Georgia. Awesome. So let me just check the roll here once more. So we should have any sign of Zoe. Is she? Can somebody give me an update on where she's at? Delilah's in, Georgia's in, Paul is here, Chloe's here, Kent is here, Tom is here, Harford's here, Jess is here. Is Matt in here? I don't think Matt's in the chat yet. So can somebody work on helping him? Markovic is here, Bonnie's here, Hugo's here, Kate is here, Jeremy was first, Sienna is definitely here. Lockie, I think I saw him write something in here. Yeah, Lockie's in here. Sarah's here. Ropian and Kiki are away today. Do we have Ishan? Ishan, is he in here? No, it's not. He's not showing up on my list, so he might need some assistance in getting on. And Jonathan is here. So we're just waiting on... Who was it? We're waiting on Matt and Ishan and Zoe. So can somebody write... Zoe's at home. Well, if that's the case, then I'm just going to have to modify... Mrs. Geimer is going to have to modify the class role there because she's ticked Zoe as present when she's away. What about Matthew? Is he in yet? Can somebody give me a update where Matt is? Matt is getting on. Good, good. And what about Ishan? Is he here yet? Can somebody update me on where he's at? Okay, Matt's computer is dead. All right then. I hope he can sort of follow along with somebody else's screen. Borders went home. Yeah. Okay, Ishan. Okay, Ishan's here. Good, good. And Matt's got a dead computer and Zoe is abroad. Okay. All right, so can I get you all to stop typing into the chat feed just for a moment? The way this is going to work out, I think there's a bit of a lag, so everybody can stop telling me that his computer is dead. But the way this is going to work out is that there's, 20 of you, and there's only one of me. So if you're all typing in hi, then if you have a legitimate question, then I'm not going to be able to find it and keep up. It does seem to be a bit of a delay in the chat feed. So what you type in and what I can see in the chat feed seems to be a delay of about, 20, 30 seconds. So if everyone can hold up, Paul, can you stop writing poop in here? So I'm going to put you in timeout. Okay, because I can't have you guys going crazy, going crazy in the chat feed here. Thank you very much, everybody. All right, so we're going to get started. Hopefully, the last person or so is able to catch up at another time. So I want you to open up Microsoft Excel now. To do this, if you haven't opened it up before, it's very much like, Jeremy, you got to stop, thank you. It's very much like opening up Microsoft Word or PowerPoint. So if you are on Windows, then there should be a Windows icon key on your keyboard in the lower left. You tap that one, tap that key, and you should see something pop up on your screen in the lower left. Then start writing out the word Excel. You can see how the word is spelt in the title of this live stream video. So I want you to fire that up and then you hit enter and you should be able to open up Excel and yours should look like what I have got. Thanks, Yana. And if you're on the Mac, you should have Microsoft Office installed as well. If you've been using Microsoft Word, Excel comes along with it. So for you, you can do a similar search by doing Command space. That means you hold down the Command key, which is right next to the space bar on the left-hand side. Hold that key down and then tap the space bar, then let everything go. And then you're going to type in the word Excel. So you can see the spelling is in the title of this video if you don't know how to spell it. And then it should show up and you just hit enter to open it up. I'm going to give everybody 30 seconds to figure out how to do that. If you fall behind for whatever reason, keep in mind that these live streams, they are recorded and they will be saved onto the YouTube channel. So if you've missed some instruction, because it might take you longer to find this button that I'm talking about, then you can always watch this again when you're at home or at a later date. All right, Sarah, can you clarify when you mean it's not working? Is it because you don't have Microsoft Office installed? Or because you can't open it up? Ishan. I'm just waiting for people to catch up, and hopefully they've opened up Microsoft Excel. I just saw that Sarah had an issue. So, Jeremy, if you don't have command, then you're probably a Windows, and I already explained that instruction. You have a Windows icon. It's in the lower left. It's between Control and Alt on your keyboard. Okay, thanks, Sarah. All right, moving on. We can get started. So we are going to open up a new blank workbook. So hopefully you can see my mouse. It seems to be visible on my screencasting software here. Let me just close down the background here. Don't save. There we go. So you should see a blank one here. I am going to make mine a little bit more zoomed in. So in the lower right-hand corner, can you see there's a little 100% icon? I'm just going to click on the plus sign next to it just to make it a little bit larger. I'm doing this, you don't have to, but I'm doing this because generally I think you'll find it's very difficult to see what I'm clicking on. So I'm making it more zoomed in so that for your viewing pleasure, you can see a bit more clearly. Awesome. We are going to do a little bit of an orientation. And then we're going to do some, I don't know, silly exercises to see so that hopefully you can understand how this thing works. Now, I'm sure most of you know how to use a calculator. And some of you, especially students for the first time, they go, "Why do I have to use Excel? I can just use my calculator." Well, sometimes in the real world, you have to change your calculations frequently as new information comes in. Or sometimes you need to repeat the exact same calculation thousands of times. Now, you could sit there with a calculator for a week and type it out over and over and over again. And then every time something changes, you have to recalculate it all over and over again. Or you can use Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is a calculator. It's a calculator that can listen to instructions and repeat it as many times as you want. Now, because you're giving it instructions, it will update the answer if you update the input. Okay, that'll make sense later down the road. But let's figure out what's what. So these individual boxes, okay, these are called cells, hence Excel is in its name. Now, cell, they probably have this name. They probably call these things cells because they kind of look like the building blocks in body tissue, like skin tissue or muscle tissue. There's going to be lots of muscle cells or skin cells all side by side. They all link together to make the main tissue, hence skin tissue or muscle tissue. In Microsoft Excel, these cells make up the calculation or project that you're working on. So they all work together. And you simply left click to move your way around. Whoops, I just clicked off screen. There's also some of the familiar formatting tools. So I'm sure in the upper left-hand corner, you can see icons for like center alignment or changing things to bold, italics, underlined, or even filling it in. So I can do that. I'm pressing undo there. So let's just jump into a project and I will teach you what the things are as we go along. So I would like you to go down. I'm going to give you references as to where I am. Okay, so think of it like map coordinates, you know, like longitude and latitude. So longitudes are vertical measurements on a globe, and latitudes are the horizontal lines on a globe. Well, in Microsoft Excel, we have the alphabet on the top row, and we have numbers for each row. So I want you to go to A2. That means I'm in column A and row number 2. So you click on that one. And I would like you, once you've clicked it, and it should be active with this little green box around it, once it's active, I would like you to type in something. So I'd like you to type in income, or actually let's change this to pocket money. Okay, so I'll give you 10 seconds to do that. Okay, so time's up. So hopefully you've written in pocket money. Now, I think you'll notice that the word pocket money does not fit inside of that cell. It actually bridges right across into column B. Now, we can fix this two ways. One way, which is the dumb way. Not dumb, it's just not the best way. One way you can do it is if you move your mouse. See how if I move my cursor between A and B column headings, the icon of my mouse changes. When it's right on the edge between the two columns, the icon seems to look like this. Now if I click and drag and then let go, I can readjust the width of that column. That's the slow method. So I'll give you a chance to try that. Okay, now let me show you the other method that I think is much faster. Okay, so let's say I have something down here like incomprehensible. Okay, now if I have another one down here that's much longer again, I would have to keep dragging it over and over again. There's a better way. When I move my cursor between the two, I can just double left click, double tap, and it'll automatically adjust to the right width for me. So now if I remove this one, because that was just a demonstration purposes, now to resize it back again, I'm gonna double tap and it'll automatically snap to the correct width I need. Moving on, so now I'm just gonna put some headings. Let's do the top row. So we're looking at B1, and I'm gonna write in here weekly. And if you want to know how I'm moving from cell to cell, I can do that really quickly by using my arrow keys on my keyboard. So you might just try and scan or skip around if you like, just to exercise. If you go too far down, let's say if I go too far down and you go, oh no, my screen looks different. Well, you need to move your mouse over to these little scroll bars here and move yourself all the way to the top again. So we've got weekly, fortnightly, whoops, not fortnight, fortnightly, different spelling to the game, monthly, and annually. I'm also noticing that these ones here, they're all different widths. So I'm just going to double click to make them all the right width apart. Now I'm going to add some things underneath of pocket money. So I'm looking at column A. I'm just going to write in some expenses and some savings as well. So I'm going to have savings. And now for my expenses, maybe I've got something to do. Like for example, maybe I want to get a brand new bike. So I'll have bike in here, and I probably have to pay for some tuck shop money. So maybe I'll type in for food expenses. And then maybe I want to start paying mum and dad back for that Xbox One X. So Xbox One X. So I need to pay mum and dad back for that. And then I want to know how much money I have left over. So I'm going to have left over, or you can call it net if you like. I think net is 2 T's. I can't remember. I'm going to put 2. So while you guys are typing that, I'm just going to Google the word net. No, it's just 1 T. There we go. Yes, I guess you could call it balance. But when you when you do financial things, you often have the word net, I believe, after you've taken away. The net is supposed to be the income and subtracted all of your expenses. That's the way I understand it, at least. It looks like we have a few participants who have jumped out of the chat. So I hope everybody's still able to keep up. I don't know what's happened there. I can only see maybe 2 people in here. I can see Matt and Mia is still in here. Hopefully everybody's still typing away. Okay, thanks Sienna for coming. Have a great afternoon. You can watch this video later for the rest. Okay, while I'm still waiting for people to finish typing that in, we're now going to color and make it a bit pretty, for example. So I like to color these in. So I'm just going to highlight these ones here. To highlight multiple cells, what I'm doing is I'm clicking on the box, holding down my mouse button and dragging out a selection before I let go. So here we go. I'm going to highlight the top row here. So I left click, hold it down, drag it across to all the ones I want to select, and now I let go. And that frees my mouse up to spending. Is you could put spending, but that's the thing I want to find later on, Georgia. So thanks for the question. I now want to make this a pretty color, so maybe I will use blue for this one. So I'll backtrack that once more because usually students find that very difficult. Okay, so usually the highlighting thing, people get confused. So I'll do it one more time. So I'm going to highlight this top row here. So here I go. I move my mouse to position, click, hold, drag, I'll let go. And now up here, there's a little bucket tool, a bucket icon, and I'm clicking on the little down arrow so I can choose what color I want. So I would like to use blue. So and also it seems to update live in the background here. So I can just mouse over it and see if I like the color. So I'm going to click on blue. You can choose what color you like. And likewise, I'm going to highlight my income. Maybe I'll highlight my income in, let's say, green for like money. And then all my expenses, I will highlight in, let's say, maybe orange because they are taking away money. And then my leftover, I'm going to choose a different color. So maybe I'll use gray. Let's see what works. I think I'll click gray. I'm going to go with this gray here. In fact, I might even select that whole entire row here, just this bit here. So I click, drag a selection, I let go, and I click the paint bucket tool. If somebody is stuck about anything I've just shown now, because usually there's a lot of questions that happen at this point, if you're stuck, please drop a comment in the chat feed. If not, if I don't see any responses in the next 20 seconds, I'm going to assume everybody's ready and waiting for the next thing. Okay, so that's been 20 seconds, so I presume everybody's doing well. Now we're going to start filling it in. All right, I just saw Matt respond. I presume he means no sir, no troubles. That's what I'm going to presume he means by saying that. Okay, so now we're going to drop in the pocket money. So this figure, obviously you can tune this. If you actually get pocket money from your parents, then of course, why not stick in the amount of money. So just don't get the left click thing. So on your mouse, obviously I think a lot of you are currently using your laptop, so you'll be using your trackpad. So if you're on the Mac, then I think you have to tap your finger down on the trackpad and then drag your finger across to make a selection. If you do a right click operation, I think by default that's got to be a 2-finger operation, I believe. And I think you have to physically press down with both fingers onto to get an audible click. All right, good. All right, so pocket money. I'm going to make up a number. I don't know how much a year 7 kid gets, but I do have to make enough room for these sort of expenses here. So I'm going to pick something relatively high. So I'm going to pick $100. So you type in 100. All right, I'll give you 10 seconds to do that. And let's say I want to make some savings because maybe I want to have some savings by the time I get to year 12 so I can buy a fancy nice car, or maybe I want to go to somewhere really cool for schoolies, like overseas. Not that we would be going right now at this time of year, but people often make savings. Maybe you're going to buy a house. Maybe you're going to have, it could be anything. So savings is a good idea. So out of my $100, maybe I'm going to have, maybe I'll put $20 away for savings. And for the bike, maybe I'm putting away $10 to pay off for a bike, to save it for a bike. And for food, maybe I'm spending, sorry, Ishan, I can't really stop because I think most people at this stage are waiting on me to finish this one off. So I'll try and go slowly. Just typing in some values at the moment. So food, let's pretend we've got, I know realistically at the tuck shop, you're spending a lot more than $10 per week, but you adjust your pocket money, you adjust this to how you see fit. And then for the Xbox, maybe I have to pay mum and dad back by $10 as well. Now, I would like to format this. We still haven't done anything cool with this calculator yet. Yes, we will need a dollar sign, but you don't type the dollar sign, just put the number in. Okay, I am going to highlight. Let's do the formatting now, in fact. So I'm going to make a selection of all of these cells together. If you recall, I move my mouse to the position, I click, hold down my mouse, drag out a selection, then let go. And then I can move my mouse to the top. Now at the top, you can see some icons. Can you see there's a dollar sign right up here underneath the word general? There's a drop-down menu that has the word general, but there's also a dollar sign here. I'm going to click on the dollar sign. Now that's changed the format for all of those cells. You don't have to write the dollar sign at all. The computer will type it in for you. Give you some time to do that. Okay, Lockie, can you report back if everybody has caught up to me? So you can do a bit of a shout out in the classroom, and then can you type your answer back to me? Is everybody done? At least up to this point. If there's anyone who's still stuck or behind or needs a minute to type stuff out, can you tell me who and where they are at? Hugo, can you clarify what do you mean, where is it? What is the it that you're referring to? Okay, thanks Lockie for reporting. Awesome. Now we can get to the fun stuff, finally. So we've done this basic bit. This is going to be our input. I might even color this in just so you know that these are the numbers we typed in as the input. everything else on this table, everything else is going to be calculated for us. Okay, so I want you to mouse over B7. So the cell B7, which is gray on mine, and what I would like you to do is we're actually going to do our first instruction for this calculator. All right, I appreciate everybody's active in the comment here. The Excel currency thing, Hugo, is you highlight the cells that you want to have it, and then you mouse over right, for me it's right in the center. Around here it says general, and there's a little dollar sign. As soon as I click on that, it'll apply that format to all those numbers there. Good. Now, we're going to do our first instruction. So again, B7, and I want you to do the following with me as I say it out loud. This cell is equal to, so you type the equal sign on your keyboard. Now, instead of writing down a value, Excel, the program, is listening for an instruction because we are saying that this cell I have selected is equal to the following instructions. So the instructions we are going to give it is, I want it to take the pocket money and subtract all of those expenses. That's what the instruction is going to be. Now, follow very carefully with what I'm doing on the screen. This is also where a lot of students stop listening and they're just fiddling on their screens and they don't see what I am doing. Okay, this is a very visual step and it's going to be a really painful time if you're not following with your eyes. So hopefully everyone's looking at my video clip here. Only when I'm done do you do this, okay? So watch the whole step. I want the pocket money. See how I clicked on it? Okay, I clicked on it and it says B2 in my cell down here. What's it saying? Well, this cell is equal to the cell of B2. Okay, so that's the pocket money. Now I want to subtract all of my expenses. So to show a subtraction, I'm going to use a minus sign. So I've typed in minus. Now I'm going to want it to take away all of the expenses. So that's going to be the sum of all of the expenses. So I'm going to type in sum. Now this is an instruction. As soon as I typed in sum, can you see how it's trying to predict what I was trying to ask for? We want sum. So now that it's found it, I'm going to click to confirm that's the one I wanted. And now I've run out of room here. Sorry, I had to double click, sorry. I had to double click on that one. And now it's got an open bracket. It's asking me now, sweet, okay, I know you want the sum. What do you want me to sum together? Well, I'm going to click and drag a selection of all the expenses together. So here I go, left click, hold down, drag, and I let go. See how it's given instructions? I want you to add everything from B3 up to B6. And now I close my bracket. That's the instruction. I'll leave it on screen right now so that you can copy this. But I'm pretty much done, and the last step would be to hit the enter key. I'm going to leave it on screen so you can look at it. In fact, I might do it again from scratch so that you can follow along a second time. So starting from scratch, I click on my gray B7. I'm going to say this cell is equal to, so I've typed the equal sign. It's equal to the pocket money. I click on the pocket money. I want it to subtract all of my expenses, the sum of all of my expenses. So I type in sum. I see that's predicted that I probably want one of these. I want to have sum right there at the top. I double click. Now it's listening. What are we summing together? Okay, now I click on all of my expenses. I'm going to click and drag that selection. So click, hold, drag, let go. And I must finish with a closed bracket. I'll give you guys a minute to do this one. Okay, Matt, can you confirm if everyone is ready? So you do the call out and you report back in the comment feed if everyone is ready to keep going. Okay, while Matt is doing the check for Bonnie and possibly for Chloe, Chloe, can you report where you are at? So you said you're behind, so let me know what that is. So I'm going to redo this calculation again for those people who have finding it difficult. So I'll do it more slowly. I've selected the cell that's in column B and row 7, which is right next to my leftovers. I'm going to say this cell is equal to. Yeah, thanks, Paul. I think we're going to run out of time. We'll finish the rest of this next lesson, but we'll just repeat this. Okay, this cell is equal to. Yes, Bonnie, just follow along, please. Cell is equal to. Now click on my pocket money. So I'm left clicking. And now I want to subtract. So I'm looking on my keyboard. Right next to the 0 key, there's a minus key. So I'll click on a minus on my keyboard. Oh yeah, Matt's computer's dead. Sorry. All right, so subtract. And now I want to subtract all of the expenses. So I'm typing in sum. So SUM. Now I'm going to double click on the list. I want this one here. So I'm going to, oh, okay. It's not showing up in the live stream here. It's showing up on my computer though, but I can just use bracket now if I want to. And now I'm going to click and drag a selection of all of my expenses together. Close my bracket down with my keyboard. As soon as I hit enter, it should be done. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great afternoon. Hopefully I'll be back again next time. See you later.